Hi, my name is Prisha Agarwal, and a couple of weeks ago, I got the opportunity to learn something new about healthcare in the US. Currently, only 4% of government funding goes towards pediatric cancer research, and children are treated with the same drugs used for adults. My guest for today's special episode is a development manager at the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation, which is trying to do something about this. They have partnered with 30 hospitals to conduct pediatric cancer research in an effort to find less toxic, more therapeutic treatments. My guest, who also educated me about this, brings an automatic vibrancy to the conversation with her drive and perseverance. Someone who knows how to take initiative, welcoming Lindsey Oliver. Thank you for coming on here and talking to me about this cause.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's get right into this. I mentioned a little bit about your job and your role and said that you're a development manager, but I would love to hear from you. What all responsibilities does your job currently entail?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, though we're a national organization, we're actually a really small group. So we all kind of play a role in making the work that we do possible. So my specific role is I go after our third-party fundraisers. So any individual out there who wants to do a fundraiser, whether it's for a birthday or somebody wants to put on their own walk, or pretty much anything that you can think of. We just had, I didn't have contact with him, unfortunately. We didn't know about it until after, but he did a polar plunge for us. He was for his birthday and raised $365. So
Wow.
types of fundraisers like that, I would be the point of contact for. I also work with all of our organizations, like DECA, for example. I know you were part of DECA in high school. We just came on with DECA as a partner. So we're encouraging DECA kids to create fundraisers and help spread awareness for what the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation does. And again, working with them to help create campaigns because we know that high schoolers and young kids have such a drive and are so creative now, especially with social media and all of that. So just really excited to build off of all of these partnerships that we can create with organizations and associations and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, that's so exciting that there's so many different opportunities and different venues that you're using to get that goal going of raising awareness and fundraising. So backtracking a little bit,
Sure.
I just want to kind of know briefly if you can tell me about how you were able to shape your career to how it is right now. Like you
Yeah.
right now are very focused on what you're doing,
Right.
but walk me through your journey.
Sure. So it's kind of long, so I'll try to keep it short. I am from Maine originally, born and raised, went to college in Maine, and then took an internship right out of college. So I worked for a minor league baseball team doing, again, kind of like a community outreach type job and merchandising. Well, sorry, I kind of messed that up, but I was an intern and then I was offered a full-time job. So I dealt with all of the nonprofits there and did all of the fundraisers that people did through the sports team. Then from there, I worked in government for a while. So I had a behind the scenes look at how state government is run, which was really an amazing opportunity that a whole lot of people don't get. I never thought I would be involved in politics. Still don't think that's a career track that I will pursue in the future, but really cool. I've done some sales, and then right before I moved down to Maine, I worked for a hospital, again, doing development work. So I was planning our special events, which unfortunately due to COVID, were all virtual, but really just loved the nonprofit sector and having a job that was so fulfilling and being able to help the community in such a way that we're raising money at the hospital for adult cancer patients. And again, healthcare was just so top of mind, especially, as COVID became so prevalent with healthcare. And then decided I wanted to make a life change and move down to Florida. So I actually was approached by the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation on LinkedIn. So I think that is such a great resource for people who are looking for jobs and careers. because you just never know who you're going to be able to connect with. So my professional career kind of took a little weird spin, but I think it's helped shape where I am now because I have such a background in so many different things that it's really easy to connect with people because I know a little bit about a lot of things.
Yeah, I can, first of all, I can second the whole LinkedIn thing. It's just such a great resource. Um, but that's really cool. So did you ever have like a certain idea or planned out kind of approach to your career, or was it like more spontaneous? Because what I'm getting from this is that you're very like giving back to society was always like a goal for you,
Yeah.
and like that always attracted you.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first went to college, I actually wanted to go to college for wedding planning, and very quickly like decided that's not the career track that I wanted to do. And I still kind of joke that even at 30, I have no idea what I want to do when I grow up exactly. I just know that whatever I do, I want to be able to positively impact my community. So what I'm doing right now is so fulfilling, and helping, hopefully one day creating a cure for pediatric cancer essentially would be our goal. Um, but yeah, it's been kind of spontaneous, and I'm all about like taking opportunities as they come to you. And to be completely honest, most of the jobs that I've had have been a result of somebody reaching out to me being like, hey, is this something you want to do? And I know for some people that can be really scary, and it's like, I've never done that before, but I just see that as an opportunity to grow and learn, and kind of really figure out what it is that you want to do, because there's so much opportunity available.
Mhm. So now let's talk about National Pediatric Cancer Foundation. And how did you discover it? You told me that they reached out to you, but what made you want to take that up? And
Yeah.
um, you know, whatever your take is on that.
Yeah. So before they had reached out to me on LinkedIn, I truthfully had never heard of the organization. So they used to just be a Tampa based organization. And then they're trying to grow nationally, which is really cool. So the CEO had connected with me on LinkedIn about a potential job opportunity. And then I did my own research on what they did. And what was important to me was not only that the money was going where they said it was going, because for so many nonprofits, yes, the money is absolutely going to the cause, but 88 cents of every dollar that we raise goes directly to our mission, which for a nonprofit is absolutely incredible. So that was really important to me. And then I am a super creative person, and the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation on their website has so many different types of fundraising opportunities to get people involved. So I knew that joining that organization, I would be able to be creative and kind of just like, well, create things. And so that's kind of the approach we're taking. Again, because we're such a small organization right now, we have some fundraisers coming up. We do fashion shows and fishing tournaments throughout the country. And so we're kicking those off starting in February. So that's where our focus is right now. And then we're doing a virtual walk in April. That'll kick off on April 3rd. And we're doing that because it's 4-3. And as you said in the intro, 43 kids a day are diagnosed with pediatric cancer. So that'll run from April 3rd to April 30th. So we're working on all kinds of stuff right now.
So fun. And what's better than ever is that it's supporting such a great cause. Yeah. So thank you for doing that. And I just think that also, correct me if I'm wrong, but being a part of a company or an organization that is a little on the smaller side also helps you kind of stretch the boundaries of your creativity, like you said, and just you can explore more with your role, is what I would assume.
Yeah,
that
you
sounds
can
so
kind of
great.
shape it to what you want it to be. So
Okay, so I mean, I would assume also that in this time period that you've been working, you have probably experienced a lot of stories, and you've met with some great people and all those experiences. So can you share some stories and anecdotes from your job currently? that maybe
Absolutely.
really affected you or changed your perspective?
Yeah. So the first fashion show that I have done, we did that back in November and it was down in Southern Florida. And I think we had about 8 or 9 pediatric cancer warriors. So some of them were still battling cancer and some of them have overcome cancer and are thriving. But all of the kids there eh, are just so in love with life. Like, despite everything that life has thrown at them, they are just so excited. And we had one girl who, wants to be Vampirina, which I think is a kid's show. And
Yes.
so she was so excited. And then there was a girl who got up on stage with her music teacher and sang a song that she wrote, an absolutely stunning voice. Then out of nowhere, this kid that we had, he was so shy, like backstage. And then he got on stage and all of a sudden starts rapping to the audience and like getting everybody so involved. And he specifically has just been through so much with his cancer diagnosis. And just to see these kids thrive and know that we are, hopefully making a difference in their life is so important. One thing that's really cool about the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation is that we have a health navigator on staff too. So our health navigator had or has a child who has defeated cancer. So right now she has no evidence of disease, but when her daughter was diagnosed, all of these medical terms are being thrown at you. And if you're not familiar with medical terms, like that can be super overwhelming, especially when you have a young child who is now battling cancer. Fortunately, the health navigator, her name is Kelly. She's a nurse, so she could navigate that. And so she kind of had the idea to create this position of a health navigator to help other parents navigate their children's cancer. So she's been able to help kids get into clinical trials or connect them to resources that they may not otherwise have available to them. And it's happy and sad all at the same time. But she recently sent us an email from one of the families that, you know, their child got into a clinical trial. And although the ultimate outcome wasn't great, the trial that the child was a part of gave that child, I think, 2 more months that they wouldn't have otherwise had. So, it's not always happy endings, but like the story to get there is rewarding.
I think the word you use to describe these patients is very apt. Like you used warriors to describe them, and
Yeah.
and also their families. You were saying that I can only imagine how affected they were by this huge like situation, because cancer doesn't really have like one cure till
Right.
now, and they're still trying to find that. And so it's so scary to hear someone close to you or anyone really um, have that kind of thing, that there's no, even though our medical science has progressed so much, we still
Mhm.
have so much ground to cover, and it's that kind of thing that you don't know what will happen.
Exactly.
So that's great that she did that, and he had those 2 more months to live.
Right.
Um, so, wow.
I know.
uh,
It's so powerful. When I got the email, I had like chills. I was like I
yeah,
just can't even imagine.
yeah. I don't even want to move on to the next question, but um, I mean, I feel like right now, especially with COVID, and I feel like there's an emphasis on healthcare, just
Yeah.
generally in our country. So there's so many people who are
Mhm.
willing to help and who want to do something about this,
Yeah.
and who are looking for opportunities that are similar. So,
Mhm.
what advice would you have for youngsters who want to maybe volunteer or have a job uh, in a kind of similar environment?
So, are you asking like how they can get involved with us or just in general across the board?
Anything, it's kind of open ended. You can
Yeah.
go
Uh,
take it wherever you want.
okay, perfect. So I mean, with us or honestly any organization that they want to get involved in, there are so many like little things that can turn into big things, right? A small idea you can run with it and turn it into something big. So if a young person is out there and has an organization that, they feel inspired to get involved with, I would say probably all nonprofits, I think I'm safe to say that here, welcome volunteers and welcome people to come on board to help raise money. And whether the fundraising is $10 or $1,000, like that doesn't always matter, because you're getting out there and you're helping to raise awareness for what the mission is. And volunteer opportunities are just abundant. And so all it takes is a phone call or an email. I know for us, we have ways to contact us on our website that are super easy, and then we'll reach out to them, or just picking up the phone. Like, again, nonprofits are like, we love volunteers. We love people to raise money for us. And we are always happy to talk to people about that. And even if it's an idea that people don't exactly know how to get started, there's a good chance that we've talked to somebody else who's done something similar. So we can bring ideas and suggestions to the table that might help people get started. So I guess my one piece of advice would be just to dive in and either ask the question or get started, and everything else you can figure out as you go along.
Yeah, don't be afraid to just pick up the phone and just reach out to them. I think what may be a little hindering to this is you don't know who's going to be on the other side, so you're scared to take that first step. But honestly, I feel like it's such a reward every time you do it. You just have to be brave enough to make that first step, and then everything just falls into place.
Exactly. And I've been on the other end of it too, where there's big causes that have been near and dear to my heart that I'm like, I want to get involved. And again, like I can speak from that perspective too. Like I've never encountered anybody who's like, I'm not talking to you now. Like everybody's always so enthusiastic and so excited, because again, like if you're working for a nonprofit, there's a good chance that you're super, super passionate about it. Like there's a lot of heart that goes into that. And so anytime you're passionate about something, like you want to share it with other people. And so you get excited when other people want to be involved.
So lastly, I think this kind of goes into line with the last question, but what else can listeners do to help out with this cause, or to help out specifically in the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation and what you guys are trying to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we love people to, organize fundraisers, whether it's for a birthday party or like a school walk or something like that. We also have, like I mentioned earlier, fashion shows around the country. They primarily happen on the East Coast, but we are branching out to new markets, and we always need volunteers for those. And anytime anybody can create awareness, like if you're not interested in doing a fundraiser, or maybe you're not interested in volunteering, again, social media is so abundant. Like we would love social media shout outs, like engage with us on social media. There's just so many ways to get out there and help get the word out. But we want to create brand awareness. We want people to understand how important research for pediatric cancer is, and how limited the funds truly are in that sector. And again, ultimately our goal would be to cure pediatric cancer. And I don't know that there would be anybody out there who wouldn't want to see that goal come to fruition. So just honestly, anything. And we have so many ideas on our website personally, which the website's nationalpcf.org. So
yeah, and I'm also gonna link that. I'm gonna link that, and you can go check out all the details there. And as you said previously too, you can just reach out if you want to help out specifically with this cause, and everybody I know would be more than willing to just give you a job to do or a role to do in this fight against cancer. So thank you again. Well, as I said, everything is going to be linked down below. And thank you for your time, Lindsey. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.